Chapter 54. Lucian was surprised by the tone and forcefulness in his mother's voice, but yes, she was right. There had been deception, lies about his parentage, and plenty of cover-ups. "Do you plan to see him again?" Lucian asked Etta. "No need to." Etta sighed when she said it. "There are just too many things we all thought were kept secret. I don't see the point. This didn't turn out the way I thought it would." But she felt the need to help Lucian understand why some of those decisions were made. "Lucian, I wish I could explain it better, but things were so different back then. I grew up with a young man in our church in Whitehall who thought the parents who raised him were his biological parents. We were seniors in high school when he found out that his biological parents already had 14 children, so they gave him to another couple in town to raise. It wasn't a legal adoption. They just gave him away." Lucian put his arm around his mother. They didn't need any more words. Sharmelle and Cecilia watched them and were deciding if there was anything else they could add to the conversation. Sharmelle offered her help. "First Lady, is there anything you need? Anything I can do for you?" "No, dear, we've already imposed on you enough. I hired you for a job to find Marcus, and you did. And as I said, this hasn't turned out the way I thought it would, but I appreciate that you found him. I think that settles it." Sharmelle drove home, thinking about Etta's words, that this didn't work out how she thought it would. She realized she had never talked to Etta about what she wanted, what she was expecting in her quest to locate Marcus Pierce. Did she have some fairy tale hope of rekindling the romance if Marcus was also single? But Etta certainly never envisioned that he would be married to her brief college roommate. Sharmelle finally felt free from the Hayes case, and she felt lighter, mentally and even physically. She also felt the case taught her some lessons. She just wasn't quite sure what they were yet. She was thinking about all of that when her phone rang, and she saw Sam was calling. She contemplated not answering, but knew Sam would continue to call or send a barrage of text messages if she wanted to talk now. "Hey, Sam." "Shar, I just got off the phone with Dominique Pierce. She told me everything. I can't believe y'all went over there to meet him today. That must have been wild." "Yes, it was, but why was she calling you? She just seems to be starting mess wherever she goes. As you can tell, I'm not a fan." "Listen, Shar, I know she rubs people the wrong way, but she may not be all bad in this situation. The reason she called me is because she got a call from Lily Paredes. She wants to do a show about this Hayes stuff." Sharmelle's heart sank for about the millionth time since she heard the name Marcus Pierce. The Lily Paredes show was the highest-rated news talk show on television, cable, or broadcast. Last year, the media industry crowned her the new Oprah, the Oprah for the next generation, and the queen of television all in one. It came after her exclusive interview with a wanted terrorist who was the mastermind behind a bombing outside a German cafe that killed 23 people, including 2 American exchange students. So Sharmelle was alarmed. How did she even find out about this? "Sharmelle, have you not seen social media? April Sun's TikTok video has nearly 2 million views right now, and thousands of people have commented that it's obviously Henry Hayes she's talking about." "But she's a national personality, Sam. Why is this local situation so sensational for her?" "Friend, have you forgotten that 2 years ago, Time magazine called Reverend Hayes America's pastor and talked about how this preacher in the Deep South might finally get religion in this country back on track because he wasn't living in a mansion, driving a Rolls, or flying around on his own private jet? And you were there. The Vice President of the freaking United States came to his funeral. The President probably would have been there too if she wasn't at the NATO summit." It was all coming into focus for Sharmelle. This was not just a Pearl City story or scandal. It had all the elements ripe for being exploited by TV personalities like Lily Paredes, well-known pastor, wife with a secret love child, and the unvarnished truth coming out 60 years later. And Lily probably didn't even know the whole story about the secrets that turned out to be not so secret after all. Sharmelle thought about Etta and how her husband, son, and the biological father of her child had all conspired to keep Etta from finding out they knew about each other. Just thinking about it started to make her head hurt once again. She returned to why Sam had called. So what did Dominique tell her? Is she going to do an interview, cooperate with the story on all of this? No, at least she said her family wants no part of this. Sam was worried, though. Sharmelle could hear it in her voice. But Lily is no wallflower. You know, if she thinks there's a story there, she's going to find some way to tell it. She's probably paying somebody to dig through Mrs. Hayes' garbage right now, or finding out the name of her chiropractor or her dentist. Well, Sharmelle said, I think there's only one thing to do now. And what is that? Sam asked. We need to get ahead of this story, and I think I know exactly how to do that. Thanks for the heads up, and I'll keep you posted. Sharmelle was grateful Sam trusted her and didn't ask for details. She did know how to get ahead of this story. It was 4:45, and she knew Lyra would be getting ready for the 5 o'clock newscast, so she sent a text. Hey sis, call me when you're off the set at 6:30. I have a story idea for you. I think you'll want this one. She saw the pop-up bubbles and knew Lyra was typing a response. Does it have anything to do with the story everyone's talking about on TikTok? The Georgia pastor who everybody in the newsroom knows is Pastor Hayes? Then it was Sharmelle's turn to respond. Yes, it does. That's the mystery case I've been working on for the past few weeks. Lyra responded again. What? Our 5 o'clock producer saw it a few hours ago and was asking me if I knew any local pastors and have any idea who it might be. I guess she didn't know I go to First Ave. I can't believe this. So Deacon Hayes isn't Pastor Hayes' son. Biological son. Sharmelle tried to end the conversation. Just call me when the 6 o'clock news is over and I'll explain everything. Right now she needed to explain everything to someone else close to her. She had to make things right between her and W2. Her text to her was brief and to the point. Where can we meet tonight? Someplace where we can talk in private. She waited a few minutes for a response. Lennox just took the boys to chess club at the church, so I can be at your house in 20 minutes. Perfect. See you then, was Sharmelle's reply. W2 already knew much of the story. By the end of the night, Sharmelle would make sure she knew it all.